differences in the rules. The main difference is going to be that I don't need the notepad. There's only two of you. So you should be able to, go on yourself. I don't need to write names down. Raising hand seems kind of pointless when you're the next person always to talk. When it comes to this, I'm going to try to be less hands-on unless, of course, somebody does not be able to talk. The main time I will kind of jump up and get involved is if somebody is just yelling so much that the other person doesn't get to get involved. When it comes to banned language, due to the nature of this discussion, that is a rule that no longer applies for this discussion. There will not be banned words besides things that are, of course, TOS and can get us banned. And the main reason is one of the things that, of course, has been part of the discourse and feud online was certain words that were used towards each other. So, of course, if you're talking about the words, then you gotta use the words to talk about them. Of course, if it's something that is a slur, which would be the R word, and of course, like things like the N word, which shouldn't come up for any reason, but if it for somehow did, of course, then that's TOS. We got to use abbreviations. Now, the topic for this, obviously it's going to get into personal drama, but the topic for this is it the right or the left that is truly bigoted? I thought it was a very on-point question to try to launch the discussion. Since it's a 1v1, you will both get about 3 minutes to do an intro on this topic and, of course, the feud that you two have been having. RedNeq, your camera keeps glitching out every once in a while. I think it looks good right now, but I think it'll be fine. So, we're going to start on the left-hand side with DemonMama. Or actually, I'll flip a coin. So that's probably the best way to do it. Who wants heads? Who wants tails?
Ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. I'm a native Texan. I'm a Southerner. Ladies first.
Okay, DemonMama, you want to take it then? 3 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, this is an interesting question to me. I think that the answer is quite clear. But in case there's anyone who doubts whether the right or the left is more representative of bigotry in the United States today, I thought that I would give a couple of examples to start this all off with, without getting into anything personal, although I'm sure we will get there eventually. The right wing of America is currently and one of the most intolerant groups that I can possibly think of in the globe. Even our own currently right-wing government, mind you, recognizes that right-wing terrorist groups are the most dangerous in the country. And it doesn't get much more bigoted or hateful than inflicting terror. The number one terrorist groups in the United States are largely white nationalist and white supremacist groups, which are firmly right-wing and all have fallen in line behind our current right-wing president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself is, of course, a perfect example of the type of bigotry that we're talking about when we talk about how hate is pushed in this country. Donald Trump's admin has been responsible for targeting homeless trans people, teaching anti-trans religious groups how to spot a trans woman specifically. They have a weird fixation on trans women. And then, of course, has gone even further than that by implementing a military ban on trans people for no other reason than who they were when they were born. That is about the most hardcore definition of bigotry that I can imagine. And again, this was done by executive order. Actually, that's even charitable. It was done by Twitter, which then led to an executive order by the current right-wing president of the United States of America. Bigotry is part and parcel with the American right-wing movement. And try as they might to try and pretend that it isn't the case. Again and again and again, America's right-wing party membership and representatives continually utilize, lean on, and sometimes gladly employ bigotry as a part of their political project. I believe this was just yesterday, Rudy Giuliani, the official lawyer for the Donald Trump admin currently, called a witness to the stand who said, and of course said openly in front of the legislature, that all Chinese people look the same before dropping a dated Chinese slur, which to me is just disgusting. And the fact that no one in that room called her out on it, no one in that room said, hey, that is really messed up, especially in a time of unmatched xenophobic or anti-Chinese sentiment. It really is quite outrageous just how much hatred and bigotry we see come from the right. And this is something I'm subjected to all the time online personally. So it is something that's a little personal to me. My life is full of hate because of people whose ideologies tell them to hate me for who I am, not for anything else. And I've encountered this again and again and again on this show, whether it's people fixating on my gender, whether it's people fixating on the fact that I'm trans, whether it's people fixating on the fact that I'm a chunky girl. No matter what, I find hatred coming firmly from the right wing over and over and over again. And quite frankly, me and many other people like me are tired of it. So we don't play nice with bigots anymore. And as it turns out, the bigots don't really like being fought back against. So I just got to say, the bigotry can get out, but the idea that the left and the right are at all even on the same level when it comes to bigotry is patently absurd. Bigotry is baked in to the American right wing in the modern day. So there we are. And that's all I have to say on that for now.
Okay. RedNeq, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes to do what? 3 minutes to counter all the bullshit? That bullshit?
You can, well, it's just your intro, and then you're going to go into a broader discussion. It's just, the intros are so you have a period of time where you can't be interrupted, and you can say what you think off your head. Say whatever. You can do whatever with it.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I've only been doing this a few months, and, I think that the projections I just got through hearing are blatantly obvious that come from left. The projection is amazing. When someone says something that you don't like, you get offended because you feel that it's oppressing, and so the lashing out it's phenomenal. When I did my intro, I truly did the intro, and I said, I'm going to use a mirror. Everything you just said, look in a fucking mirror and say it. Look in a mirror, because you're the one who says on your little bio on Twitter, love. You use the words love, and you say you espouse hate, but you know what comes out of your mouth? You are literally the fucking Trump trans. Like, that's what I see. I see someone that is an orange-haired, screaming like fucking Trump triggers lefties. That's what I see you trying to do to people that don't believe in you. And I'm not here to talk about Trump, what he's done for LGBTQ or not. I'm here to talk about how not a victim tonight. You are actually the one that instigated this bullshit. You made assumptions. You were bigoted. You were biased. And you were fucking blatantly wrong, calling me out for something that you know nothing the fuck about. You don't know anything about me, but yet you banned me. You tried to get me canceled. You talked all that shit because your perception. So that's what this conversation is about tonight. This isn't about Trump. This is about your bitch ass. There you go. There's my intro. So let's roll.
Okay, you can roll into open discussion.
Sure. I mean, that was really fast. I honestly, I had thought that it would last longer. I mean, I do find it a little bit ironic that right off the gate you decide to use the term bitch against a woman. I mean, that doesn't really reinforce your position very well. But let me just, for those who may not know what RedNeq is crying about at the moment.
For you, it does for you.
No, this is for wait, RedNeq. I know.
You even said, on your own stream, I am that bitch. Wait, no, you did, didn't you?
But me calling myself that is a little different from you, my opponent, who is also an older white guy, saying that in an attempt to discredit me.
Why? Wait. Why is it different? You want equal opportunity, right? Everything's equal. Everything's fucking equal, right? Everything's equal.
Yes. Okay. But again,
you want to censor the words. You want to censor the perception. You want to censor the content. Go. That's what I'm saying. You're so quick to fucking just say, no, you can't say that. Because why? You call yourself a bitch, so why can't I call you a bitch?
Because I don't give you permission, and I gave myself permission. I mean, you can. You are legally
You
allowed to
just
call me
now
a bitch.
told me.
Wait.
You
Oh.
just now told me
Am
that
I
I don't
going to
have
be
permission
allowed
to
to
call you a
talk
bitch.
at
So
all,
now
or is
I
this
know.
just already going to be the RedNeq show? Because it sounds like you're just wanting to
you
talk
roll.
to yourself right now.
I know how you roll.
You don't know.
You came in hot on me on his last panel. You came in here saying that I am all about Civil War without
wait a
looking
second.
at the full.
Oh, my
that
goodness.
is damn well true.
You're way. I don't even know. I don't even think you've given the context. Does your audience or Dylan's audience even know what the fuck you're talking about at the moment? Because I don't think they do. But let me do it. Here, give me a second to talk. If I can talk.
So what I think what I'll do is I don't want to give a recreation of events. So what I'll do is you'll both get a period of time to say from your perspective what you thought happened, and then so each people can get both perspectives because there's two sides to every story, right? We'll start with DemonMama, then we'll go over to RedNeq. Yeah. You will have about a minute and a half.
Appreciate that. Yeah, there's two sides to every story, but this is a pretty simple story. The first time I ever saw RedNeq, I didn't even know RedNeq was a creator. I didn't know who RedNeq was. RedNeq came into my chat while I was doing a segment, mind you, specifically about how Trump's ICE was performing unapproved hysterectomies on wards of the state, imprisoned immigrants who were then subject to having their wombs removed, for those of you who don't know what a hysterectomy is. And I was attempting to talk about this, and RedNeq came in screaming Trump 2020. I very politely asked asked RedNeq, hey, could you please hold that for another segment? We're talking about something very serious right now. I'm like, you can debate with me if you want to. He refused, continued to say Trump 2020, started to imply that I was a fascist for saying that I didn't want him derailing my segment when I was talking about something very serious. And then one of my mods banned him. Shortly afterwards, we discovered that he was indeed a creator, had a Twitter account, and was on Twitter calling me a fascist for banning him from my chat after I politely asked him not to interrupt a very important issue that I was talking about. It was very polite. Many people in my chat will remember actually see the video. I have the video up. And since then, there's been a couple of different incidents in which I've run into RedNeq. That day, I happened to go to RedNeq's profile to see what he was angry about, and all I had to do was scroll down one post to discover, oh, well, we've lost him already, but to discover that he was openly advocating in favor of a second civil war, which, you know, I don't know about all of you out in the audience, but to me, advocating for a second civil war is a pretty severe thing to do. It seems like the kind of thing somebody who is very hateful would do. Likewise, deliberately interrupting a segment by screaming Trump 2020 while I'm trying to talk about people having their wombs removed is also something that I think that somebody who is very hateful would do. And those are things that you did. After that, there was all kinds of other things that happened. I came in on Dylan's election night coverage, and RedNeq decided to say something along the lines of what he said here before, referring to me as a trans, very dehumanizing, that sort of thing. I find that very weird and uncomfortable, but, sort of par for the course. But he also said, I believe the quote was, why are trans such bitches? And also, why are transes such cunts? And I have to wonder, is that not the definition of bigotry? You don't like me, sure, talk shit about me if you want to, but why do you got to bring in all my other trans brothers, sisters, and non-binary? Why would you have to involve that unless
it was directly right at you?
I'm just saying. That's all. And then also, just keep in mind,
it was right the fuck at you. You attacked me first.
I have one last thing to bring up.
RedNeq, you will have as much time as you want to respond. I promise. You'll get your own section, then you can all dig into each other like it's a WWE.
DemonMama, the other thing I wanted to bring up with regard to this is our engagement on Twitter. At one point, I correctly and accurately said RedNeq was the guy who advocated for a second civil war. He did do that. And then he responded by retweeting me and saying, you have a penis. And if for any of you who don't think that's the case, don't worry. I have some screenshots. And while that is indeed a factual statement, I do. It's true. It is. Now you all know I'm very open about this, by the way. But it's a little bit odd that someone would try to use that as a comeback.
Wow.
It seems a little bit like you're trying to direct hatred in my direction, doesn't it?
You're damn right.
And in fact, that is what happened.
It was
there
a
we
mirror.
go.
Okay.
So we have the admission here. I don't really think the topic needs to be continued. We've admitted the right is more hateful. You, a representative of the right on this panel, have openly admitted to wishing to direct hate towards me for being trans. That is why you would bring
the
out the
oppression
status.
level.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Here it comes. The oppression
I wrong?
Olympics. Let's
Okay.
go.
Am I
Yes,
wrong?
Wait,
fuck-
okay,
yes,
okay,
bitch,
wait,
you're wrong,
okay,
bitch,
okay.
you're wrong, bitch, you're
Redneck,
wrong.
Redneck, you get to respond now. It's your turn.
You're wrong. This bitch is so fucking delusional. The chain of events goes simple. Real fucking simple. You literally had something from the day I came to the stream. If you want to get the date, why don't you pull the stream up and let your people later watch it in its full context? Because you
Gladly.
actually did go off when I asked a pure and simple question. You banned me, and I thought, wow, the left sure is tolerant. They immediately banned somebody. Now, even if
So much
let's
for the tolerant
assume
left.
let's assume that you were like you said, just being sweet and kind and as nice as possible. You still banned me. I don't ban people for saying shit I don't like. If I banned people for saying shit I don't like, I'd ban the whole fucking world because I don't like anybody. It's fucking real simple. There's a very small circle. And when you take those shots, the personal shots that you took at me are the same shots that you feel I took at you. And that's where I'm saying it's a mirror. You're only going to get what you're putting out. You put out fucking hate. I've never before you ever had an issue with a transgender person or even had any negative connotations said to any other transgender. Go look through my tweet lines. I ask honest to God questions. I'm the one that's been asking, please define transgender for me because I don't believe in transgender. I believe there's a penis and I believe there's a vagina. I've learned that that's how y'all define the science. And then you have the social construct of what you call gender theory. But you know what I have, which is something that's very intelligent when I think about it, is you're still basing your gender off of a scale of femininity and masculinity, which is still based off of two fucking things. You want to create this unicorn world where I'm special because I feel I'm this. But when I ask you point blank and every other transgender, separate that logic from race. Separate it. Use race. You say transracial ain't a thing, but if you use and look at the logic of how you say things, physically, I'm born white. My skin's fucking white. Okay. I wasn't raised white. I didn't feel fucking white. I was raised by minorities in a minority area. So the way that you see me, that doesn't tell you who I am because, hey, I'm a black lesbian. How about that? I identify as a black lesbian. Is that okay? I mean, you determine your rules of how you identify people. You've identified me as a bigot because I asked these kind of questions. And then you get told, oh, these spectrums, these are scientific facts. Scientific. I asked for the proof because if your science is proof, then where's the limitations? Where do we stop? And my derogatory comments were directed directly to you. They're still directly to you. I think you're a bitch. I really do. I think that you spew nothing but hate. And the day that you quit looking at all white people as bigots, racists, transphobes, and actually calling us out for it because that's what you project and feel is happening, is the day that you might be able to see past it and ask to have a one-on-one. And actually ask somebody how they, what they actually think.
Well, I mean, damn, you had a lot there. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about at this point because you kind of went from thing to thing. I don't actually know what you're talking about anymore. But there were a few salient lines in there.
You do.
No, I actually don't. I don't.
So break it down for me. You want me to break it down for you in 1 point at each?
I mean, yeah, actually, that would be super helpful. I think it would be helpful for the audience too because the audience seems confused.
Click on it. Let's go.
Go ahead.
Let's go. Go ahead. Start with the very
what
first
are you talking?
part.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. What are you actually talking about right now? I actually don't know what you're talking about.
You are the person, the trans person I directed all of my comments to.
Oh, okay. So that's the first thing we want to talk about then. That's actually not true. That's actually not true because I actually happen to know at least one other trans person who has been subjected to what I would consider quite hateful bullshit from you and a couple of your friends, which is
to me,
Synth.
I am not answering for anybody else.
Synth as well. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not really so much about community so much as the company you keep, people who you run very closely with. And if you and your friends, like, I don't know, like to me, that sounds like if you and your friend were to beat somebody up with a bat, like both of you were hitting somebody with bats, I would consider you both to be together hurting somebody. And both of you have done that to myself, and both of you have done that to Syntheed, who many people in this chat may know. And guess what? I would love, if you don't believe it, go ask Synth. Anybody here who doesn't believe that RedNeq and his buddy CTV haven't directed transphobic hate at the Syntheed, go ask her. I'm sure she'd be quite comfortable with telling the truth about that, because we all know the truth, and most of the trans people who engage with you know the truth. Yeah, you continually try and bring attention to our genitalia, which is incredibly fucking weird. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever experienced online. Is like, I don't know how old you are. You like 50 or 60, like whatever age you are.
Ageism. Here it comes. Keep coming.
Wait, there's no ageism. That's not what that word means. That's not what that word means. I was making a guess.
What's my age have to do with this? What does my age have to do with it?
Yeah, I was gonna ask how is it ageist, and I would like expand on it.
Sure, expand on why it's ageist.
Why? What does my age have to do with anything? What are you getting to?
Wait, you've called me the trans all night, and you're gonna get offended when I say, "Oh, you're like a 50-year-old guy on the internet."
I'm asking you.
You're a 50-year-old guy on the internet.
What is wrong with a 50-year-old guy on the internet?
You're a 50-year-old guy on the internet. Right? Wait. Can I finish a sentence, or is this just gonna be you just like crying as hard as you possibly can into the mic all night?
Do you see me crying?
Yes, it looks like you're crying.
Do you see me crying?
It sounds like you're crying.
I'm pretty pale.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's just like so much weird shit that you've said. Like the first thing is like, it's really weird when like a dude on the internet goes around talking about people that he doesn't know's genitalia all the time, which you have done. Even if it is absolutely true, and it is, by the way.
How many times have I done that? Once.
At least two.
Name the other one time I did.
Already did.
Who?
And it's really easy because guess what?
Who?
Guess what?
I believe she said
you
Synth.
did it to Synth.
Yeah.
Who is Synth?
Yep, I've already said this. I know you're not listening.
They're also known as the Synthiad. You might know them by that.
No, I don't think I was ever on a panel with that person.
Damn. Well, yes, you were. You were literally. You called her a bitch and a cunt.
Are you sure?
On this. Wait. Hold on. You come on. You really can't do this. The night that I was on, the night that you called us trans bitches and cunts, was me and Synth. You literally don't even know who you say this shit to. You're so hateful, and you spit out so much bigotry that you don't. No, it was not Mel. I know it's really hard. I know you probably can't tell trans people apart, but no, that wasn't Mel. That was Synth. That was Synth.
Well,
I know.
Mean, it is hard to tell trans people apart when like 5 times the amount of trans are actually male. So I am looking at a bunch of men, especially a bunch of white men that they're trying to be women and telling me they know what women's rights are. Like, really?
So wait, this is your take at this point? So do I need to say anything more? So this just goes, I'm just going to take a second and address the audience.
The whole point is...
Wait. Listen, you had your turn. You had your turn.
No,
you said your thing.
Bullshit.
You said your thing.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and forth because you're... Give me a second. I'm going to let you go back and forth. RedNeq, finish it, then DemonMama. Okay, finish what you're trying to say. What's the whole point?
Whole point is that I should be able to freely speak any fucking way I want. I don't have to agree with your sexuality. And you're the only person that I called straight up factual. You said I don't know shit about you. I stated one factual thing about you that I knew. I didn't try to go personal at you. You called me a fucking couch warrior. I'm a fucking disabled veteran. So when you want to pull your oppression Olympics and we all are oppressed, I'm telling you, buck up, get some fucking skin. If you're such a fucking woman nowadays, if you're a liberated fucking woman, then be a liberated woman and take the equal heat that you dish. Because you dish shit talking and you got shit talking back. And I don't give a fuck if you're trans or not. You could fuck a zebra or sleep with a dog. I don't give a fuck who you sleep with, what you wear, what you dress like. It has none of my concern. But if you can't take me talking shit to you the same way that I talk to somebody else, and you think it's because you're a fucking trans, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I talk to anybody the way I fucking want. And if it means I talk shit to you or to Dylan or anybody, that's my choice. And you guys are sitting here saying that's fascist, that's bigoted. But I'm trying to explain to you, if you take that freedom away, because I'm saying shit you don't like and you think it's fucking cringe and you think it's fucking horrible. Oh my God, this boomer is so fucking cringe. He is saying shit that's so fucking hateful. I want him canceled. I want to stop this shit from happening because this is hate. Well, guess what, girlfriend? Your freedoms that you're fighting for right now are going to go right after that. That's it. That's where I'm saying.
Okay, so I muted DemonMama while you were saying your thing. I'm going to mute you and allow her to say her thing.
All right, so we've had some classics roll out here. I seem to recall that the topic of this conversation was going to be whether the left or the right is more emblematic of bigotry. I'll just have you know, like I don't know, saying that like, oh, I don't give a shit if you fuck a guy, a girl, a zebra, a dog. That's literally like literally classic homophobia. Like just saying that like, oh, and here's the funny thing. I don't even know where your persecution complex is coming from. Whoever said jack shit about silencing you? Literally, all I've ever done is argued back at you. The only time you were ever silenced was when you were banned out of my personal chat, which I have rules for my chat. I have rules. Everyone is held to those rules. People have been banned out of my chat many times. That is what happens. If you interrupt me, if you do things that ruin the show for other people, yeah, you'll be out of there. Just like how, and I know you might be mad about this as well, just like how you can't take a shit in the middle of the floor of a restaurant without getting thrown out of the restaurant. Likewise, you can't take a shit in the middle of my chat while I'm trying to do something in the middle of a segment or anything like that. We have very simple rules. And I know maybe you don't believe in rules at all. Maybe you just believe that you should be able to throw shit all over the place. It certainly seems like what you're doing this discussion. But I don't know. What you've said this entire time has been a litany of hate. And you can't even seem to decide if you think that I'm I mean, you literally just said a minute ago that you think that I'm a man, which I would think that's pretty categorically transphobia. I think that meets every definition that we possibly could have of transphobia. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems really weird to me that you would try to come on here and make a case that you're not hateful when all that you've done this entire conversation has spewed out a litany of absolutely brain dead hatred that has nothing to do with reality except that your feelings are hurt. Your feelings are hurt because I happen to disagree with a take of yours or because you couldn't behave yourself in chat for long enough to wait. We have conversations on my channel all the time with people of all different walks of life. But one of the rules of my channel is that, hey, when you're in chat, you got to be at least a little bit respectful to the other people that are in there, which you are not. Damn, you can't even be respectful to the mods on these panels. I think you've burned a bridge with damn near every person on this platform because of how childishly hateful and pathetic you are. So yeah, that's about all I have to say on that front. I don't really think that, like, it's really funny. Like, this entire conversation, you've just proven my point that most of the representatives of the right online and beyond are nothing but hateful children who just drop slurs and say stupid bullshit about the intrinsic traits. You never address ideas. You never address the ideas of anything I talk about. You literally just a minute ago said that I hate all white people or something. My beliefs couldn't be even further from the truth. You couldn't be further than the truth to try and characterize my viewpoint like that. But again, just like I said before, you don't know shit about me. And the only reason you even knew that I was trans is because I've talked about it, because I bear my identity proudly. I am not afraid of who I am. I am not afraid of you. I am not afraid of the right wing. I am not afraid of these hateful, obsolete motherfuckers who, if I have my way, will no longer be considered relevant at all in modern politics, because you are taking our world in the wrong direction. You are turning us into an absolutely stupid mess of a world where people can't even talk to one another without being interrupted and bombarded by whiny, fragile men like yourself.
Okay. I will unmute RedNeq, and we're going to go back into open discussion and back and forth.
You roasted me so bad. Oh my God. You know what the problem is?
Did.
Oh my God. That is. You're right. You roasted me so hard. You've just
Wait, are you
shown it
conceding
all.
right now?
You
should. You really should. You should give up right now. RedNeq, can I talk to you for 1 second? Can I just talk to you one? Yeah, you should. You should concede right now, and you should take this L before it embarrasses you further. Because what you're doing right now is you are throwing a toddler-like tantrum.
I fucking care.
Do you know how many people are watching?
Really?
I don't think you care.
See,
I'm just trying to
Now
warn you because I genuinely believe there's a lot of people watching this right now, and you are literally embarrassing yourself. Like you're probably embarrassing your family and your kids if you have any.
Oh,
like you should.
You're gonna bring my
really
family
stop.
kids into it. Look,
Yeah, this is bad for you.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I
Here it
actually
comes.
do.
Why?
I am actually concerned for you
Why-
because
why-
you are
why is
ruining
this bad?
your
Why is this
reputation
bad?
right now live.
Why?
I mean, you didn't have
What
much-
reputation?
Yeah, I know. I mean, true.
Here it comes.
What reputation?
Here it comes.
True.
Here it comes. So how am I ruining it by saying words that I should be free to speak? I should have the
Wait,
ability
you
in
are
America
free to
to have
speak
my
them. I'm
thoughts.
just also free to say that you're dumb for saying it. Like that's the problem. This is what it always comes down to with you right wingers. No, that's what it always comes down to. You complain when you say something stupid and hateful, and then somebody calls you a name or says that you're dumb or addresses your argument. You're like, I'm being oppressed. When in reality, what you're doing is making people's lives horrible. You vote for laws and support people who would ruin my life, and then you get mad when you say something stupid and someone else tells you that it's stupid. You actually hate free speech because the funny thing that we're talking about here is I'm the free speech one here. You are the one who says stupid shit online all the time. And when I call you out, you cry oppression. Meanwhile, when I talk about oppression, I'm talking about, hold on a second, I'm not done. When I talk about oppression, I talk about the fact that the guy you support.
You can't
wait.
No.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Your guy who you oppress banned my people, trans people from the military.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah, I know why. Because of hatred. That's why. Yes, because of hatred. That is why.
It was okay. Have you served? That's the fucking question I asked you originally.
I can't serve.
Why?
Because I've been banned from the military, you fucking dolt. I cannot serve because your candidate, the one that you and your right-wing compatriots, hold on a second, I'm not done. You asked me a question. You want to know why I can't serve? Why I can't participate in this civil structure? Because you've banned me out of it.
You'll be all right.
Because you and your supporters have. That's why, you absolute fucking worm. That's why.
Get your hate out. I'll be your counselor. I'll be your therapist. Just get that hate out. I'll be that.
If you want to talk about,
I'll be that white.
I'm somebody. Listen, I'm somebody. Here's the thing. I'm somebody who
we're gonna address this shit. No, fuck you. Look, it's your time to close your dick sucking lips. Okay, it's time for you to close your dick sucking lips and just listen to me for a minute. Before
I do love dick. It's
I don't
true.
want to have to sit here and. I know you do. Look, we're good.
It's amazing.
I should
dick
be able to talk shit to you like that, right?
Too?
That's great.
Wait, I have a question. Wait, RedNeq, do you like dick?
I like my dick. I like my dick.
Wait. Do you like dick though? Do you use your lips to suck dick?
No.
Have you ever? Why?
No, not ever.
Why?
I don't know. I think dicks are ugly.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, maybe you're just projecting. Maybe just your dick is ugly. I don't know.
My dick is ugly. It's like a tuna can.
Damn, sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but wait, was this supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be like?
Give you a. This was the moment I was trying to give you a breath and let you breathe before I say what I'm going to say. And you're in this whole tirade that you had about the bigotry and I need to take the L because I'm really embarrassing my family.
Yeah, you really should. Myself. You should back out as soon as possible. It would actually be a better look for you to jump out now.
I'm actually telling you again to you shut the fuck up for a minute and let me keep ruining my life if I am, because here's where the proof is.
Sure.
The fact that the cancel culture exists, the fact that you create this cancel culture that defines all of these identities and all of these oppression Olympics that you make everybody have to go through, that is in itself is what the problem is with all of us today not being able to communicate. You assume because I talk shit to somebody personally. I've never talked shit to anyone. You don't even fucking know if I have any transgender family members. You don't know if I have any fucking gay family members. You don't know anything about my life.
Sure hope not. I sure hope not. That would be a shame.
Okay. So again, you're projecting your thoughts and your feelings by the name and what you see. You don't even know where my name comes from. You don't even know that I've spent the past fucking 6 months, as soon as I started streaming, trying to learn about all these things because I'm considered a boomer, yet I'm actually a Gen Xer. You know, I am not that fucking old, but I am getting older. But, you know, I would like to stay in touch with what my children and their generations are thinking about. And I love to learn and I love to fucking figure it out. But you know what happens on every fucking panel I've been on? Every panel is a leftist fucking panel. And as soon as someone from the right or someone that has any conservative take says anything, the words that come out of y'all's mouth, it's almost like a recording. And it's just like you said about the right. They have recording the same shit. Y'all got the same 3 jokes. Well, guess what? We're idiots. We're dumb. We don't know shit. We're boomers. We're simps. I mean, you guys create categories of memes and fucking labels. And that label society doesn't mean fucking shit. I don't care about followers. I don't do this for fucking fans. I don't give a fuck. I'm here because I want to learn and be a part of something. And I also do this for mental health. I am a disabled veteran that has an anxiety disorder. So when I look at a transgender and I say, fuck, this is bullshit. Y'all have 40 fucking % of your population killing yourselves, and then you have 22 veterans a day killing themselves. I fucking can't stand that shit, but you wouldn't know that about me because you don't actually look at the shit that I do on the side of when I say shit you don't like. You only take and project the things that I say that you don't like. Oh my God, that's fucking cringe. I'm going to cancel him or fuck him. That's the bigotry I'm talking about that you say exists on the right that you're lashing out and doing on the left. It's what we face every fucking day. All of us face the same fucking oppressions. So my mirror comment is that right there. Take everything you say that I said and you've done the exact same fucking thing. That's what I'm telling you. Period. And you don't see
you
it.
ever fucking dare bring up suicide statistics about my trans brothers and sisters and fellow non-binary people to my face because you don't know because you don't
is
know
that a factual stat? Is that a fucking factual stat?
No, it actually isn't.
Wait,
you don't know shit about it.
Okay.
You don't know fucking shit about it. That is not a factual stat. First of all, it's based on age-old data. And do you know what the result of that study was? The result of that study was that it is people like yourself. It is the hateful structures that we have in our society that make their life bad. It is not us being trans. It is not us being trans.
Let's
it is not us being trans.
We're pausing for a second. We're pausing for a second. Okay. So I want to now. I said I was gonna leave. Give me a second here. I just want to, because this is one thing where I actually think there's not a lot of bridges to build here. I'm gonna be honest. So that's not my job today. But what I will say is, I just wanted to see if this is a miscommunication or 100% like you understand what each other's saying. RedNeq, you said that, and then you followed it up by also talking about veteran suicide statistics. And when you were saying that these are bad things that you hate, and that's something you sympathize towards.
I want them fucking fixed. So how am I supposed to learn if I don't learn what it means to be transgender? If it's one of the things that I had no way of learning about until I came on, and then I started talking to transgenders. You don't even know that I have a full hour or even a 2-hour interview with Simon when I first came on, who actually shared with me her story, the personal things that allowed me to ask questions, honest fucking questions. And then my joke question that I made on fucking Twitter to get you here about what do you call a bitch or a bastard, that was directly targeted to you. That wasn't directed to the whole transgender community. But as someone who talks shit, I want mental health awareness for every fucking body. So don't get that twisted. And the same way that you're offended to say, don't you dare talk about my brothers and sisters. Your brothers and sisters are also my brothers and sisters. They're fucking family. Anyone that suffers from a mental health disorder.
You are a liar. And I am okay to call you a liar, because here's the thing. Many, many people have attempted to engage with you in good faith. And in fact, when I first came on, I didn't even barely even talk to you. I came on for election night hoping to talk about the election. And I came in to you talking about trying to make comparisons about how trans people aren't valid because then everybody could just change race at a minute. You've never taken time. Wait, no. It's my turn. You've had your time to spew your hateful bullshit all over the place. And it's my turn to bring some facts into here, because I agree, Dylan. I don't think there's any bridges to be built between somebody like this, but I'm hoping that there is bridges that can be built between people in the audience and people like myself. Trans people who, again, I will refresh your memory that we are banned from the military right now. Trans people experience unfathomable levels of verifiable objective discrimination in our society. And now you're trying to play all nice while you at the same time in your own sentences refer to trans people as a transgender, the transgender. You don't even call us people. You won't even call us trans people. You just call us a transgender. You literally objectify us in your passive language. How much disdain you have for us, and how absolutely shallow and transparent the fact that you want to try and weaponize our own mental health to hurt us is unfathomable to me, and it's frankly disgusting.
Do you realize what you just said?
I was not finished. I'm not finished with you. You had your time. Dylan, with all due respect,
you didn't do enough research. I didn't
interrupt for a long time. And he got to talk
because you had nothing to say other than fucking hate. I said I care about all mental health. I care about all fucking mental health. You say that's a lie? Go to every fucking stream. Go to every one of my fucking streams right now. Tell your followers and everybody. Just go to my YouTube or my Twitter.
I will not tell people to come watch your stream because I don't think people should
watch. Okay. Look. I understand you disagree here. But give me a moment. I don't understand. I understand, but I'm the moderator. I'm gonna let you make the point, but I'm the moderator. When I speak up, I'm doing it because multiple people are talking at the same time. Audience cannot hear you if two people talking at the same time. RedNeq, finish your point about mental health.
My hands are in the air. I'm not touching anything. Just go look at the titles and the description of every one of my fucking videos for the past months. Just right now. And tell me if it doesn't have mental health. And if it doesn't talk about it. If it doesn't say if you are suffering from any of these things. So fuck you. That is one thing I suffer from it. I fucking suffer from an anxiety disorder. And you want to talk about your bullshit? You know goddamn well that the transgender community, the trans people, whoever or however you want me to describe it, suffer from mental illnesses just as bad. There is a high rate of mental illnesses inside the trans community. They can be caused by the environmental effects. I understand that. I'm not denying that there's fucking dickheads out there that talk shit. But if you are telling me that the words that are spoken on Twitch, Twitter, and all of these things are what actually hurt you, then I'm telling you, you need to look at how I was responded to by just those tweets, because I did those to get all of that hate so I could actually say, go look at your own timeline and all the replies to that tweet and see how much hate came from your side. Nobody's ever sent anything from my side to you that showed hate that you say I'm associated with. Me and CTV, I've never tweeted to you of something hateful. You guys literally go against everything you claim that you're not doing. And I'm trying to tell you, I am doing this to give you a mirror. I am you right now looking at you, treating you the same way that you treat everybody else. And you don't see it. And I'm willing to stand here, and I'll continue to stand here and do it.
Well, with all due respect, I strongly disagree with your incoherent characterization of these events. You are the type of person that causes harm. The way that you're willing to direct hatred by trying to point out people's genitals online, you think that's supporting people with mental health? I don't. Wait a second. I'm not done.
You said I don't know jack shit. But don't put it on everybody.
I can't even get a word in.
Own the fucking comment.
With all due respect, I can't even get a word in edgewise this entire conversation.
Sure you can.
No, I really haven't. Here's the thing. There's a couple of ways that I can approach this. First of all, let me just set the record straight on this. Suicide rate in the trans community is shockingly high. And the reason for that is because at every single possible corner, we are met with hostile people who do not try to understand us. People like yourself. You in public decided to bring attention to my genitals in public, using your public pressure, and you think that you're some kind of champion.
You brought my mental health. You brought my
absolutely
fucking
absurd.
I never said
up. What?
You brought my. You said I was a couch warrior, and
you
I
are a couch warrior. You absolutely are a couch warrior. Do you know what a couch warrior is?
Yeah, I know you're offended. Let's stop for a second, because this is something that I was told about a lot by RedNeq. So I would like to actually get, because this is actually a big sticking point that we haven't talked about yet. So let's move to this. The term couch warrior. What does that, what when you use that, what did you mean to do, DemonMama?
Wait, the term couch warrior generally refers to somebody who sits on the sidelines and complains about other people and says all kinds of big things while not actually being willing to actually put up. That's what I think. And I think that the definition of somebody who sits online spewing hateful rhetoric and saying that he does something while actually doing the opposite of that is the absolute definition of that. I don't know what you're trying to twist it into, but let's just say that I don't really think that we need to. I don't even think we need anything. I don't think we need. Oh my God! I can't even. I literally can't even have an opportunity to reply. Is this a conversation?
Well,
Dylan, with all due respect,
yeah, it is a conversation. It is a conversation. I understand that, right? It's just two people and not four, so I thought I could be more hands off. Obviously, with the topic matter, I can't. So this is what I'm gonna do. And this is what I do. I'm going to do this every once in a while when it gets too rowdy. One talks, then other talks. So you were trying to say what you believe a couch warrior was. You got to say that, right?
I mean, yeah, but there's already been like 15 things that he said that I have not had a single opportunity to reply to. He brought up trans suicide statistics. Like, this is ridiculous. The 40%.
okay.
Wait a minute, Dylan, you should know better than this. You
Okay.
know that 40%. With
Well,
all due respect, let me have a second, please. Please.
Well, DemonMama,
My goodness.
I don't comment on the validity or not validity of people's comments during. If somebody says something that's incorrect, I don't jump in and jump down everybody's throat.
I'm not asking you to
Now,
do that, but I am asking you to give me space to respond to it.
I will. If you talking to me like this is how that can happen. So what we're gonna do is RedNeq's gonna respond about the couch warrior, and then we're gonna go straight into the suicide statistic thing that you wanted to talk about. Okay? Okay. RedNeq, you can respond to our couch warrior.
For DemonMama's context, when she says that she felt a couch warrior was just somebody that sits there and just talks shit online and spews hate, I understand that one. Okay, I got that. But in the veteran community, those of us that have served, and especially those of us that have served in combat arms and or have been in combat or haven't been in combat, that same thing is referred to negatively as a negative tone. So it's got, as for a veteran, it's, and if you don't believe me, you can ask other veterans. If you call a veteran, especially a service-connected disabled veteran, a couch warrior, you're derogatorily telling them that their service didn't matter, and that has the same amount of trauma and things associated with it. So that's how I took it, not knowing you meant it that way. So that is now one of the great points I'm glad that we could calmly talk about, that shows. That was why I came back at you the way I did, because I felt you were projecting the exact same hate that you say you felt projected. And that's the mirror. That's the only reason I brought up your genitalia, because I felt you were attacking me, because you literally replied to a comment where I said, I served my country, did you? And you said, you don't know jack shit about me, couch warrior. So me already telling you I'm a service-connected disabled veteran and served my country, and asked you if you had, and then that's what you replied with. That's why I took it that way. If you're saying you didn't mean it that way, and you're willing to tell me that right now, then I will apologize for bringing up your genitalia and stand up and be a man about it, and I acknowledge that wasn't right.
Okay,
I fight fire with fire.
One thing, before you say what you're going to say, DemonMama, tell me the different things that have not been yet addressed. I'll write them down here, make sure that we cover them all before the day ends. I want to make sure, I just wanted to listen to your concern. I got the suicide thing.
There was quite a lot. Yeah,
okay,
but
suicide.
It's been minutes of that. But yeah, the suicide one is the biggest one, because quite honestly, what's that? Yeah, that's the biggest one. That's the one that matters most. I barely remember the other things that were brought up at this point. There was literally so much gish galloping. Like, I don't even know how to address those. But I do want to bring up the suicide thing. And first of all, yeah, like this is ridiculous. So if you're actually interested in learning, which I don't know, maybe you are, maybe you're just really, really bad at communicating that to people, whatever, that happens. The fact of the matter is that the suicide rate is high in the trans community because of the unfathomable amount of hate, the fact that trans people cannot get treatment because of they're barred out of, that. Yes,
I
understand. But I'm talking right now. I get you. But here's the thing. In your actions and the way that you engage with trans people, the way that you've engaged with me, even in this conversation and talking about trans people in general, is so far away from even treating them like humans. It's actually absurd. Like, again, you're just willing to jump off the thing. You literally said in this conversation, wait a minute, before people start getting amnesia, in this conversation, you literally said, for all that you care, you've just talked to a bunch of men. And to me, it's like, damn, that's literally exactly what we're talking about here. The type of hate that drives people to feel isolated, the type of hate that leads to trans people being constantly discriminated against in this country is what you have done in this conversation. And you will fly all over the place talking about this and talking about that and talking about how me calling you a couch warrior is the same thing as you bringing up my genitalia and also saying that trans people are all men as far as you're concerned.
No,
it's
I
not
said
even
the ones I've taught.
I'm not done, RedNeq. I'm not motherfucking done. Because this is something that actually matters to me.
You're throwing shit too.
I'm not
Mark
throwing
that
any
one then for me, Dylan. Mark that one for me, Dylan.
What? Mark what down?
The one that she just said, where I'm saying that all trans are men.
I actually have that written down. I already have that written down. Actually,
I want to go down that one. Is when you get done with your soliloquy.
Sure.
Go ahead.
This isn't a soliloquy. Keep in mind that you talked for about 3 minutes solid where I didn't interrupt you. And every time I've attempted to address it, it was absolutely impossible for me to respond because you would just get immediately mad, immediately fragile.
I apologize. You're correct. Go ahead.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that mental health is a really serious issue. This is something that I've grappled with. I recognize if you I don't know what your angle is in here. And I don't really care, to be honest. If you talk about mental health enough frequently, that's great. But guess what? Talking about mental health doesn't mean that you talk about it in a good way. And it also doesn't mean that you aren't absolutely horseshit on other issues. And when it comes to trans stuff, you're about as horseshit as it comes. In fact, you're like willfully horseshit. People have told you about this in the past, and you continue to go forward as you have this entire conversation, literally bringing up the 40% meme. And the reason, with all due respect, Dylan, why I got a little mad about that is because the 40% statistic is raw hatred. It's drawn out of an age-old study. It is used to weaponize against trans people.
Please tell me the new one. Tell me, teach me then. Teach me then. I'm here.
We don't
fucking
have
teach me.
Numbers. We don't know what the suicide rate of just trans people is.
So
that is a study.
Can we agree that 40? When I said 40%, I wasn't saying out of hate. I was saying it's fucking.
Give me a second here. I just want to say.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so RedNeq, what were you referring to when you said 40%, if not to that study? I'm personally curious.
That it's that the last thing that I read said that suicide rates have been as high as 40% for it was focused on the minority population, and I thought it was in America. I didn't think this was the sweetest one, and I was trying to find. I found it on the NIH.gov, National Institute of Health Gov website, and I'm still trying to find it because there's a bunch of stats I was looking through, and these are some of the questions I had. And in the earlier comment about men, the only interaction I have had on fucking Twitch has been with, when I say man, please, I am not sitting there trying to say what you identify as now. I'm saying as birth identified. There is 5-1 in the stats that I saw, and 5-1. I don't even think I've even met one female transgender to male, but I've met all white male transgender to females. And so when I said all males, that's what I was talking about. I was like, why is there more white? And they're fucking white. Like, where's the minority? I have not met one minority transgender yet online, and I'd love to. I would love to, but it seems like it's a disproportionate level of white males, and that's where I see you when I saw you spewing your hatred.
Yeah, didn't you meet Mel?
Mel was the only one.
Mel's Asian.
That was the first. I understand. That's the first.
That's
the first person of color I actually met. I'm telling you what I'm experienced with.
But do you realize that? Like, you realize how absurd it is. Wait, it's my turn now. Do you realize how absurd it is for you to come into this conversation and try to weaponize the fact that you haven't actually met anybody in the trans community, that you haven't met any trans men? There are a whole lot in our space. I could name you a list if you were actually interested. That's your problem. That's a problem on you. Who cares? Like, who fucking cares that what are they supposed to come and serve themselves up to you on a platter?
Negative.
This is the weirdest thing in the world.
That's bullshit. When I said I come on here and I don't care about followers and I came to learn, do you not think that it would be nice to be able to communicate that's
you didn't come on here to learn.
Like,
you came on here to call me a cunt and a bitch to my face. What do you mean you came on here to learn?
I called you.
So silly. This is so absurd. You are so cowardly. Just own up to it.
Why is it that you act like the victim every time you get called out for your bullshit?
Who said anything about me being a victim? You're the one who's been whining this entire conversation. I've been addressing you.
Because I have pulled the fucking receipts. You started this shit, and you just don't like it. You don't like the fact that I called you out. You don't like the fact that I put a fucking mirror in your face.
Wait, what are you talking about?
We could go back through the timeline again. We can always go back to the timeline.
This feels like
you're the first one.
Unironically, like gaslighting. It feels like what you're trying to do is like tell me a fantasy story that isn't reflecting reality at all. You came into my chat and said Trump 2020 shit early on. That was the first run-in I ever had with you. And I don't really even give a shit because in this conversation alone, we don't even need to consider any of the context that happened before this. Even if I was the biggest asshole to you in the world, the way that you've carried yourself and engaged in this conversation is perfectly emblematic of the absolute bigotry that I have pointed out that represents your movement. And again, guess what? Maybe I would be able to know a little more about the veteran community if I was allowed to be in the military. But the guy you openly support and don't barely ever fucking critique, you were on here cheering rah rah for Trump 2020, all this bullshit. That guy banned me.
Sure.
So
You know why?
it just seems a little bit weird.
Do you know why?
Try
Do you
and
know why?
workshop your reputation while you not only support a hateful guy, you support hateful people in Congress. You come on here, you say hate slurs. You come on here, you say trans people are all men, and then you also say, "Oh well, I've never
I
seen."
did not say all
white
transgender are men. I said
You
I haven't.
did earlier.
I can't even tell you the truth.
I
can't even tell you.
I have the quote written down. I can review it if we need to.
Yeah,
it was specifically
I have not met.
It was specifically men pretending to be women. I'm trying to remember exactly what you said before and after, but that's the quote
I have not met. I said I have not met anybody else but men trying to be women on these Twitch channels. I haven't seen any of that other shit, and I don't have to agree with you.
Almost like you're lying about wanting to learn because you realize you came across really bad here. You realize you're a simple bigot.
Okay,
which is what you are.
You just got through talking. You're done, and I'm going to start now. You finished. The fact that every word out of my mouth, you project the hate into it. I have freedom of fucking speech. I have freedom of belief, just the same way that you have the freedom to identify. Because that's how you're getting your fucking rights, you dumb bitch. The fuck's wrong with you?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about at this point.
If you want to limit it, look, if you want to sit here and say that Twitch and Twitter and all these words that people say is what cancels their lives and that's what defines who they are, then you got a rude awakening for you. You aren't. That's what you're doing. Because you can't understand. You don't understand the hypocrisy I'm showing you.
You know that communication is a two-way street. Like you have to say things that make sense for people to understand it.
You ready? Are you ready? Let me try it again.
Sure.
Everything that you said about all of these things that you are spewing is just hatred and bigotry. It's because that's how you're hearing it and that's how you want to hear it. I should be allowed to say it whether you like it or not. It doesn't make me a fucking transphobe if I say something that's transphobic to you. That's how you're identifying it. Is that not what I...
That is nonsensical. Wait, you're not a transphobe if you say transphobic stuff to people. That's really weird. Okay. That's like saying I'm not a racist even though I use the N-word all the time.
Where's the... Okay, again, now here we go to the race thing.
Wait, I'm just asking. I'm just pointing out a parallel. Like, this is absurd. You can't even own up to the things that you do.
No. Let's point out a parallel. Do you believe in transracialism?
Why are we going to... I'm not going to pivot to fucking transracial. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Into the fucking subject by trying to correlate the N-word with some fucking transphobic words. Give me a fucking break.
What?
Where's the rule books?
Dude, what are you... I honestly... Listen, I'm so lost. I feel like...
The rule books? I can review the
rules
rules if need be. What do you mean the rule books?
No, she says that, like... I've said so many transphobic things. I've said so many... And I'm sitting there going... The fact that we have a book of words and memes and sayings that we all have, everyone is oppressed, okay? Disabled veterans are oppressed, fucking transgender folks are oppressed, black folks are oppressed, Mexicans are oppressed. I mean, everybody has oppressions in fucking the world. In the real life, we all have to face fucking struggles. And if we start dictating that fucking person said this word and it offends me, and so fuck him, he is this. And if I look at that person just because they have a dress on and I go, fuck that, and I go over there and kick their ass, that's totally fucking different. Just because you say something doesn't mean your actions are representative of such. And you're preaching, DemonMama. You're sitting here preaching the cancelization of people. You are canceling people.
I don't even know.
For words.
Like, you're off on some other conversation that you seem to be having with somebody else. I don't give a shit. Here's the thing. If you sit out in public and you say things that are harmful to other people, you act on hate. Your actions, your willingness to engage in hatred, to say
words don't do shit.
Yes, they fucking do.
No, ma'am, they don't.
If you don't, wait a minute, then why are you here? If you don't believe that words do anything, then why the fuck are you here? Words
because I sit here. I don't ban.
Nonetheless, this doesn't have to just do with words, because guess what?
It does.
Saying hateful things like bringing up suicide statistics isn't just words. That's talking about real world phenomenon that have real world things. You're pretending.
It troubles me.
You're pretending.
It troubles me.
No, it does not. Let's dispense the fakery here. You literally just a couple of minutes ago said men pretending to women. You don't fucking give a shit. You're a liar and you're a coward.
Why would I not care?
Wait a second.
Why would I not care?
Wait a second. You know that everyone in the audience sees you exactly for who you are, for the hateful, spewing, angry, immature person that you are in this conversation. And
You're
you've shown
canceling
it in this
again.
conversation.
Albiism, let's go. Everything is always that. You revert to the words,
Wait,
and you just
albiism?
literally go, "Hey,
Wait, what are you talking about?
Hey guys,
Are
let's
you
do
even
this.
here?
Let's
Hello?
do this."
I believe he meant the word ableism.
What
I
is he
meant to
talking
say
about,
ableism,
though? I didn't
but
say that. I didn't say anything about ableism.
You literally the words that you have been describing me with every fucking time are the exact
Hateful?
same talking points that you project at white males that are hateful. You're literally saying I'm that person, and I'm standing here
are
telling
that
you
person. Yes, you've
because
shown
I
yourself
say
to be
words
that
that you don't like. Because I say words you don't like.
No. Let's go here. Because not just because you say words that I don't like,
Yep.
because you direct words at other people that people don't like. We're talking with words right now. I know it's hard to understand that your words can communicate what you believe.
So
You know,
have you ever
when
been
you're
called
sitting
an
here,
asshole?
wait, I'm
Have you
not
ever been
done
called
yet.
an asshole?
My dear God, you really.
I'm just asking you.
Wait a
Let's
minute.
get rudimentary.
Here's the thing,
Why
like,
make
I
it
don't
so
know.
hard?
Do you
Why make it
actually,
so hard?
Wait, I don't like. What do you mean make it so hard? You literally
You're-
can't have a conversation with somebody. You don't actually engage with anything that's being said. You just are literally talking to yourself. It's incredibly weird to
No.
me. Yeah, you
No,
said that me calling you.
I
Wait,
probably
this
should
is
get
why
a
it's a
fucking
joke.
mirror.
This is why it's a joke, because you come on here to say, "Oh, I care about this, I care about that," and then you say that it's ableist of me to call you hateful. That's absurd. You don't even know what these words mean. You're just mad. Your feelings are hurt and you're mad. You're mad because women in the modern day, trans women, can argue back with you when you say horrible shit to them. And you don't like it. So that's why I've said all along, the free speech position is my position. I want to be able to call you a stupid idiot when you call me.
You can. And I was called a stupid idiot. And guess what? I have a mental
You are a
disorder.
stupid
And
idiot. I don't think it's just calling you that. I think you actually are a stupid idiot. Yes.
So you were calling
And
a
a
person that's
misogynist, and I do
disabled
think
with
you're a transphobe too. And I have the receipt to prove it.
And so as a disabled person with a mental disorder, you think it's okay to mock my mental abilities?
Did I say anything about your mental abilities? I think that
Yeah.
that, listen, I strongly
Yeah, you called me
believe
an idiot.
that
You said
Yeah,
I
you
can't
are.
have normal conversations. Oh,
No,
well, I
see,
mean,
when I talk about
we can play this victim game. We can keep playing it.
Wait, this is really easy. This is really easy to talk
Is
about.
it?
Guess what? I have mental illness struggles myself. I also am diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. But guess what? I don't use that as a shield to be bad to other people. I don't believe that a mental disorder, an anxiety disorder, or a depression disorder, or anything like that prevents you from thinking and from being a good person. However, what I do think is that your hate and your ego prevent you from doing that. And that's why I call you an idiot, because you are somebody who is intentionally stupid and hateful. This has nothing to do with your mental disorder. Don't give me this fake bullshit.
No,
this
so
pretending
I'm
bad faith baloney.
dad.
You don't believe in any of
I'm
that.
that
Wait a
dad.
minute. You call people an idiot all the time. I could even get you on the hypocrisy thing.
I do.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that it was ableist of me to call you an idiot.
I literally.
You're so sad.
I'm actually trying to get.
You are such a sad person.
Why are you so triggered so
pathetic.
easy? Why is you so fucking aggravated? Why are you so mad?
Wait, you're the one who's complaining because I said I think you're an idiot for coming on here and saying that all trans people are just pretending to be women. A verifiably hateful statement. When you advocate for things like a second civil war, when you vote for a guy who bans all of my people from the military, and then you're gonna come on here and try to workshop your.
If you could pass,
excuse me, I'm not done. I know you're scared of the words.
You've been done for an hour.
I know you're scared of the words. Howard is scared of the words.
You've been done for an hour. Your barbecue temp was popped a long time ago. Your fucking turkey button is
again,
finished.
it wouldn't be much of a change for you. It wouldn't
You
be much
literally
of a change
don't have
for you
conversations.
It wouldn't be much of a
don't
change
have
for you to
conversations
retreat
because
off
you
into a
just project
fantasy
hate.
world, just like you think that Donald Trump still won the election. All of the other fantasy worlds you tell yourself, so you don't have to confront the fact that you cause harm in this world. That you are causing harm in this world, and you won't admit it. If you were willing, if you had a spine, you would have backed out of this conversation before it started. You would have said, yes, I am actually a hateful worm.
Why?
Yeah,
Why would I admit something that I'm not?
Because you would have been able to be honest and say that you regularly engage in hate, that you regularly engage in and encourage hate, that you back hate on a federal level, that you wish that you backed the policies that cause my people harm. But then when you come on and show your face, you have no spine to actually stand up for it. At least the motherfucking Nazi, would have, excuse me,
who are
at
your
least,
people?
Excuse
who are
me,
your people?
trans people.
Who are your people?
Those are my people.
All trans?
Yep.
All trans.
All trans people.
Okay. Just making
They're all
sure
my
I know who you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
come on.
And by the way, what was I going to say here?
I did
Sorry.
what's one?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I was at with that
when you get on those
tirade I was saying.
tirades, it's fucking
Yeah.
When you get on those tirades, it's fucking fun.
Yeah, oh,
You
it's
lose
really
track
fun.
of
I have
yourself.
a
And you
great
say, I
time.
can't hold
I have a
conversation.
great time bringing the truth and bringing the fire to people like you, people who try to hide and have no spine and pretend that you're a likable person while you actively
What do you mean,
support stuff that would hurt
hide?
me and everyone
I
I
have
care about.
actively sat
Coward.
on every
At
leftist
least
panel.
a Nazi would have the gall to say it to my face, unlike you constantly backing off.
Give me your fucking address after we get off this thing, and I can give you mine, and we can come to
we're
each
at
other.
the-
And
we're
I'll
at
give you a
the
big
fight
hug.
in real life?
No. I will give you a big hug.
Hug,
I'm like,
okay.
I'm not that guy. And
Is
all
this-
you're
is this
doing,
threat?
you're literally,
Like-
hold on, you literally called me a Nazi. You've literally.
No,
laid
I-
it
no,
out
I
the
actually
front.
said a
You
Nazi
brought the
would be
gold
better than
oldies
you.
out.
I said a Nazi
fuck,
would be better than
you
you. I
are-
would rather
you're
talk to
so
a Nazi
beautiful.
than you. I would
You are
gladly
beautiful.
rather talk to a Nazi
I
than you
wish
because
I
at
could
least
sing.
a
I
Nazi.
wish I could sing.
So
I wish I could sing in that man's voice and sing, "You're beautiful," but I can't. I can't do it as good as him because you know what I just got through hearing? I got through hearing you pivot again without
pivot?
actually acknowledging.
Where did I
Without
pivot?
actually acknowledging.
Tell me
It's
the pivot.
being you. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about the
You don't
disrespect that you
know.
had for
You
me and
don't
I have
know
for you.
because I didn't pivot.
No, I do
You're just
know.
making up words.
You
Do you know what
did.
that means? Do you
You
know what
brought-
pivot means?
Yeah, you brought up Trump. You wanted to bring in all the other shit around this to project
You
that
support Trump.
all. Of course. What's wrong with that?
You support a guy who banned my people from the military. You support a guy
Do you know
who
why? Do you
told
know why?
people how
Do
to
you fucking
target
know
trans
why?
women specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Do you know why he did
because
it?
you're okay with hate. That's why. No person, no ethical person would
policy
be able to
reason?
stand
What
by
is
and
the-
say that. That's why.
what is the
Because you
policy
are a
reason?
part of the hate movement in the United States. That's what it is. Donald Trump represents the most hateful part of America. And guess what? The Republicans could move on from Trump. I think there's room for a slightly less hateful right-wing movement in America, but I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think you guys can get over your hate. Just like was shown in this conversation, you couldn't even keep the lid on your feelings for this entire conversation. You went right in and just immediately started saying the hate. And that will be your downfall. And that is why the
What downfall?
Republican
The cancel
Party of
culture
America,
downfall?
the right wing
The
of
downfall,
America,
the
will be
cancel-
relegated
I'm
to the
not talking-
dustbin of history.
Look. I am not talking for the fucking Republican Party. I'm not talking for Donald Trump. I'm talking for RedNeq. And I'm talking to DemonMama.
Yeah,
who
and you've done a
talks shit
shit-ass
directly to
job
me,
at it, I gotta
says-
say.
That's your personal opinion. I'm not here to make fucking fans. I'm not here to earn capitalistic money.
I don't think
who
you're here to
fucking
do
hate.
anything.
So
I
I can
think
sit
you're
here
here to try and
be-
save your
Oh,
ego. and
wait.
it's
Let me
really
do it.
pathetic.
Let me do it. Let me do this again.
So-
I'm gonna cancel this motherfucker. I know he's not as important, but y'all. But I got to do this, and that's the life you live. I don't try to cancel nobody. I don't block anybody.
I've never
let's-
used the
let's-
word cancel
let's
once.
let's
Yeah,
cut this for a second.
yeah,
Let's cut this for a
you
second.
stream earlier.
Let's cut
Come
this
on,
for a second.
girlfriend.
Let's
I
cut this
saw
for
it.
let's cut this for a second. Okay. And the reason why is because we want to make sure that everything that was brought up was covered. So we did cover the suicide rate. Did you want to cover that any more? There's any points that have been made that?
Sure. I have one
Okay.
last thing I'd like to say. on that.
We'll do that. And then there's one other thing that was brought up that I think was mentioned that was specifically the military thing. And we're going to go deeper into the military thing. So let me write that down because I want to make sure everything here is addressed. So you say one more point.
Transracial thing.
Okay, I'll write down
About
transracial. And we'll get to that, but we only have about 17 minutes, so we might have to speed run some of this. Okay, DemonMama, you can go on the suicide thing.
Sure. I'm just going to put out a word right now to Dylan's audience, RedNeq's audience, and anybody else who might be watching this right now. If you are a trans person, or actually if you're anybody and you're struggling with suicide, it's a very serious thing. And people like the Republican Party do not take this seriously. They undercut public funding for mental health care. They undercut your ability to get health care. If they had their way, you would be considered a liability to the health system and you would be left alone. But that is not the world that I envision. All of you trans people out there are valid, and I will be fighting until the day that I drop dead for your rights. That's because that's what I come here for. I come here to make sure that all of you out there, all of you trans people out in the audience can feel comfortable being who you are, even if you don't know you're trans yet. Even if you're sitting in the audience and you're just going, I don't know if I'm trans. Maybe I'm just not a man. Maybe I'm not just a woman. Maybe I'm something else. Maybe I'm non-binary. I'm fighting for you, and I genuinely believe in that. And I'm not enough. We need more of everyone to step up and fight against people like this, to fight against the right wing, which would gladly destroy us and leave us to die, and has done so in the past. Many people don't know this, but maybe you've seen that image back in World War II of the books being burned by the children. Did you know that that was the record, Germany's record of trans and homosexual health in the entire country? That was the Institute for Sexual Studies. Trans history was set back 50 plus years because the Nazis targeted trans and gay people first. And I will never let that happen again if there's anything I can do about it. So that's what the message that I want to put out there to anybody out there who might be struggling with suicide during these incredibly hard times. Please keep fighting and know that you have at least one very angry ally out there on your side. I love you all very much in a non-parasocial way, and trans rights are something that I believe in to the end, truly. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Next for topics, we have military and transracial. They're the two last things we're going to cover before we wrap this up. Next is going to be the military thing, which has come up multiple times. So, DemonMama, you would bring up the fact that Trump has banned trans people from serving in the United States military. I'll leave out my personal opinion there and some other things I could say there, but that happened. And RedNeq, you wanted to give reasons for why that happened earlier.
I asked her if she knew why. I'm asking her, do you know why that the military has the issue with transgenders?
Yeah, I do.
What is the actual legal reasons they have not allowed transgenders?
That's the reason. That is the reason, and I can explain that because here's the thing: the information.
I'm a veteran, and I want to explain why because you took the whole last topic, and I let you go.
Well, you already had your chance to do that. To be fair, you used up your time before on the last topic. You went on a great rant.
So you used up your time, and this was the topic I brought up.
Okay.
And I'm going to give my point of view of what you're calling hate, because that's all you said is just hate. You said that earlier, and I'm going to tell you why I believe it's happening.
Yeah, and you'll be wrong.
Why I believe it's happening. 3 years ago, did the WHO not still classify transgender as gender dysphoria?
No.
Was that still on the books 3 years ago?
No, it was not.
3 years ago.
As of 3 years ago, we would have been in the DSM-5, I believe. I think we're on DSM-6. In DSM-5, being trans was no longer considered a mental health issue in and of itself. Dysphoria is the only one, and that mental health issue is easily treated by offering trans healthcare to those individuals. This is a globally recognized fact.
I understand. DemonMama, I'm not arguing or fighting with you on this. I actually am trying. You think I don't fucking think you should be able to serve? You didn't even ask me. You're just fucking assuming.
Well,
and that's my fucking problem, that you don't listen. You don't ask. You just project. And you're still not here. No, the fuck you don't. Because I've actually had this conversation. I served voluntarily. I think anybody that wants to serve their country should be able to. But if you can't pass the fucking entry exam, and the entry exam includes medical, mental, and physical, that's where the sticky point gets for transgenders currently, because you have to either be fully transitioned. You have to be fully transitioned prior to enlistment, because it is a don't ask, don't tell policy. And that's how you can get in if you're trans. Yes, ma'am. Check the law book.
Yeah, guess what? And that is still hate.
I just told transgenders how to get in.
Yeah, it's still fueled by hate. Do you know what it takes?
Red tape. Red fucking tape.
It's not fucking
Yes, it is.
This is a matter of hate.
It is.
You don't even know what it means to be fully transitioned. You don't even know what these words mean. You don't know what it costs. You don't know that, do you not recognize that we live in a country where transition is not covered in most states by insurance? Okay, listen, that is absurd. What you are talking about is a law that basically says, well, we're not technically discriminating you based on being trans. We're just discriminating on you versus being trans.
DemonMama. If I could help you find a way to serve your country in the military, would you do it?
No. I don't want to go into the military.
Why?
First of all, I'm 30. And second of all, I don't want to go in the military. Why does my personal desire to go in the military matter? I've been barred. Been barred. Why would I ever trust? By the way, just so you know, just for the record, I have a trans family member who was in the military, who got in, who graduated from the Air Force Academy with honors.
Yes.
And then was after Trump passed his order, was removed from the military.
Because she transitioning while in service, or was
No.
So here's what
just found out. They talked about it, mentioned being trans once, and then they got kicked out of the military.
So I do
Sucks how that works, doesn't it?
Well, I need to.
Sucks. Almost sounds like it's a hateful policy that's designed to discriminate against trans people.
No,
and people can make up all kinds of little excuses, but that's what it does at the end of the day.
I'm gonna be as respectful as I can when I say this, and I need you to understand this is coming from someone who actually served and went through the process. Okay, the reason I'm a service-connected disabled veteran is because I didn't have any of these conditions I have now pre-enlisting. So when I enlisted, they tested me for all of these things, and I passed, and I was awarded, and I had just re-enlisted. Okay, when you are in the military, if they find any disability or deemed disability per their laws, per their current laws that they are following, it is red tape that you're hating, and it happens. The military will kick out somebody that actually already finished basic training. Our government spent over $30,000 or $40,000 on them, and they find out they got fucking bad knees or bad ankles, or their ankles aren't good enough. I mean, there's literally this. I mean, I understand that your social understanding, and it has been from I'm not going to deny that there is a fucking problem with gung-ho alpha male rangers wanting a transgender person in a squad. But in the military itself as a whole, and to say that it's out of all hate, I want, if a transgender person wants to serve in the military, fine. They have to pass the test. I'm not opposed to that. But
wait, let's bring some facts in here. You got to say your part.
It's a mental thing that y'all still have your problem with, though. That y'all have.
It's not.
It's a problem with that. You got to fix that. They have to fix that.
Wait, listen. The military didn't support this. Donald Trump introduced this by an executive order, using his power as the commander in chief. The military did not support him. So the military didn't even.
I understand that you disagree with Trump. That's fine.
No,
but Trump is the commander in chief.
Yes, he's the commander in chief.
Trump is the commander in chief.
Acknowledge is that if the rest of the military doesn't even agree that it's a good policy, and in fact that it costs them more to get everybody out of the military and retrain people, then what we can acknowledge is that this was built on hate. Donald Trump did this because he knows that him and his supporters do not like trans people, and that's why it happened. The rest of the military didn't agree. He cost the American taxpayers, he cost veterans money.
I could give a fuck less about what he...
Why would you defend that? It's bad.
Okay.
Hey,
hold on.
Well, let's pass it over to RedNeq to answer the question.
Look, you support whoever, and I'm sure they have shit with them. Everybody has baggage. You don't have to like everything. Okay? I don't agree with him on military. There's a lot of things I don't agree with him on the military. But the one thing I do agree with him is he's made the VA change, which got me better health care, which I would hope would translate into better health care for everybody else. If that's what they're going to build, this new universal health. Look, I have already been on plenty of streams where I've talked about, I wish there was a way that the free market system that we currently have would allow transgender doctors to actually set up their own clinics in places, sort of like a Planned Parenthood, yet strictly focusing on transgender folks. So that way they could have truly identified help and need. But you wouldn't know that either because you never asked about that one, right? So those are things I've actually said on other streams, that I'm not that kind of crazy right winger that just thinks everybody's a piece of shit. Just because I don't agree with your choices and I don't agree with the way you define sexuality and gender doesn't mean I fucking don't let you be you, right? Or I'm out here oppressing you. I'm not that guy.
You're supporting the guy who does do that. That's the thing.
I support him for.
It doesn't matter if you support him for other reasons. Like that's what you're doing. You're supporting not only that, but you're supporting the party that continually does do this. It is the Republican Party. It is only the Republican Party that has pushed forward bathroom bills. It is only the Republican Party that has pushed forward trans discrimination rules against trans people in healthcare. The Democrats do not do this ever. And you support
the biggest problem we have.
And again,
the biggest problem we have.
Again, I just want to
remind you. One at a time. One at a time.
The biggest problem we have is right now, you literally want to say, because I support somebody, that now it's everything. And that's, again, the mirror. You're projecting what you want and what you feel on the whole thing. So when I said something that was blatantly, what do you call that tweet that really fucking pissed everybody off? You said I called all transgenders bitches and bastards and cunts. No, that was directly related to that, but you took it because I said it globally. Your damn thing. Not all white conservative males, and especially Republicans, believe what you're saying.
But
and they don't actually
I've never said that at all.
You just did.
No, I didn't.
You just
I
did.
said the Republican Party is the
What
party.
did you just get through saying?
That is a fact. That is a verifiable fact. The bathroom bills are pushed by Republicans. Anti-trans health laws,
So
Republicans.
and
Donald
that
Trump
bill,
has been the
I
worst
love the.
president. Wait,
Do you understand
Donald
why a
Trump-
bathroom bill matters?
You had your chance to talk, and now you're not even letting me. My goodness, redneck. Listen, Donald Trump has been the
Go
worst
through 5
president for
points.
trans
I want to hit
people
each
ever.
one.
Trans violence has increased under Donald Trump. The party that you
I
support,
give a fuck about that.
Whether you like it, whether the individual people who vote for Republicans hate trans people, I think a lot of them probably do. Not all of them, I'm sure. I'm sure there's many who don't. But guess what? The fact of the matter is that the party does. The party's actions go forward discriminating against trans people in just about every single way you can imagine. And you sit here and support that party. And when I call you on it, you don't just say, yeah, that's fucking horrible. I hate that. I fight against that. No, you just make excuses. You say, oh, it's actually the red tape that's the problem, not the discrimination.
I just said I don't agree with it. Oh, no. In the military, you didn't listen.
I did listen.
You literally skipped
promise
over
you,
when I said
very well.
If a transgender person can pass the test to get in, including the physical, the mental, and the physical, mental, psychological.
But I already said they did that. They did that and they got kicked out. They did that and got kicked out. Sucks.
No,
Sucks. The facts don't line with your feelings on this. What if
ones that got kicked out were they?
What if we made the test and the test just said one of the questions on the test was, "Are you trans? Yes, no," and then you had to lie or you had to say yes, and then you would get kicked out. Oh,
the military had a don't ask, don't tell policy. The facts are I'd like to see where you say that a transgender was already.
Didn't DADT get repealed?
What I'm saying is it was still
repealed, yes.
Yeah, so that's not even, your arguments don't even make sense. You don't even know what your party supports. You don't even know. Oh my God,
I'm not even finished. I didn't even get the fucking
I would
finish the argument.
I would like to hear RedNeq finish what he was saying about don't ask, don't tell.
What I'm saying is, when I was in, we didn't have any of these issues, right? Shortly after I got out, they passed the don't ask, don't tell policy, and I guess it lasted till y'all said 10 years ago. But from my understanding, that when Trump said transgenders are not allowed in the military, the ones that were discharged were ones that had the government transition them, or they transitioned while in service. Am I missing it, or is that not the case?
I don't know what you're getting at.
I know you don't know what I'm getting at, so that's why I'm asking you a question, because you brought up saying that transgenders were kicked out and refused to be in service.
They were.
The people that were discharged. Okay, why were they kicked out?
Because
did they have transitioned while in service, or?
Wait, that's ridiculous. If you pass the test and then they change it and they say, oh, you actually have to have been fully transitioned, a process that actually costs an incredible amount of money, because again, you don't know anything about transition. That is not even a fair standard. And even if it was, it would still be wrong.
I'm asking you for receipts to tell me. I want you to give me the proof of who got discharged and why. Like, how many transgenders were they transitioned?
You want me to get access to classified information? Sure. Okay.
That's not.
No, we know what happened.
That's not classified.
Wait.
If you were openly. They knew you were trans, you would be kicked out. That's what happened.
What I'm trying to get to is that the military was not going to pay for anyone to have transitions because, yes, it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, so what they did is this is like the Southern strategy. So what they did is, instead of saying trans people are banned out, trans people who aren't, we're not going to cover you, but trans people who aren't fully transitioned are out of the military, which means it's a functional trans ban. We won't help you transition.
I got to bring up the fact.
My position. Okay, here's my position. If you're trans and you want to serve your country, I have no fucking problem with it. As long as you can pass the test and the current legal red tape that they have to be able to enter the military.
Current legal red tape is based on hate, and guess what? Trans people can't be in the military.
Change the law.
So
change the law.
We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes to address this last thing that was going to get addressed, which was transracialism. So did you still want to talk about that, RedNeq?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, every time I have been on a panel and get slammed, race gets thrown into it. And when they throw in race, I go, well, that's kind of interesting, because I actually would like to ask a transgender person. I've asked every one of them that have been willing to answer this question. If you go with an understanding that your body, as you're born with, is not how you identify. It's just the science of it. And the way that you identify is a social construct. then do you believe transracial is the same?
Same? No. I don't know. Maybe you should ask. Have you considered asking
Is
like
race,
somebody who claims to be transracial? Like,
I
I don't know why you
I
ask
ask
either.
everybody.
I only like I know about
because
trans.
because well, no, because I mean, it helps me understand the actual way that you want to help me. It helps me understand because I'm applying
Are you asking
transracial
like for me
to
to
help me understand
explain
transgender.
like you want me to
No,
explain
no,
like
no. I'm asking you, do you believe, or if I identify as black, are you okay with that?
I
Would
don't
that be
even
okay?
know. Like, sure, I guess. Like, if you really want to, go for it. Like, people,
So
this is a discussion that's like discussions of the social construct of race happen all the time. I just
sure.
can't believe you're actually. I don't think you're actually engaging in true faith, in good faith. Like, the fact of the matter is, people have
Why
discussed.
would you?
Wait,
Why
wait,
would you
hold on a
not?
second.
Why
Hold
would
on-
you not?
Wait, hold on a second.
No, no, no,
If you
no.
would let me finish.
Quantify that fucking statement. Why would you not?
Why do I think you're not asking in good
Yeah.
faith? Because I don't think you actually because I don't think you actually care about whether people can be transracial or not,
Mhm.
or what the social structure of race actually is. In fact,
You're
if you were to look
projecting.
into it at all,
Race is a
I mean,
social
maybe.
construct. Race is a social
Yes, it
construct.
is, absolutely.
Just like
It is
gender,
absolutely a
right?
social construct.
Just like gender.
Not exactly. It doesn't function exactly the same way, but yes, it is a social construct. Many things are social constructs, but race is a wait. But this is what I'm talking about. There are people who've talked about this. In fact, I had a great conversation with Joe Lewis the other day about how racial identity is impressed upon people, whether they believe it or not. Great example of this. Great example of this is, for example, Barack Obama. Barack Obama is half black and half white, and yet he's black. Everybody calls him black. He's identified as black, whether or not that's what he identifies as. That's what people put on him. So race does have elements of this, but transracialism is a totally different concept. And I don't actually know. I don't know. Maybe there are transracial people out there, but you should probably talk to them for that sort of thing and not me. But what I am going to say is
Asking
that
you
again,
because
I don't
I'm
think
using
well,
how
I see
you
what you're trying
define
to do.
transgender.
What I think you're trying to do is you're trying to
Does it not apply?
You're sort of what it sounds like you're trying to do is you're trying to get like a gotcha. Like, should a
No,
white person be
no,
able to
it's
say,
not a
yeah,
gotcha.
wait,
No,
I'm not
it's
done. My God, you have
Lee,
to
I
let me
will
talk.
say that a good person to talk to about this, I think Joe Lewis thinks it's an interesting discussion to have. So that would be a
Yeah,
good
that's
person
what
I
I
would
brought up.
suggest.
because
For
I'm the
episode.
one that brought it up with those guys. I'm the one that talked about this with those
I
guys
don't think
pre this
I don't.
bullshit.
I wasn't on that conversation with you. I was talking about a different conversation that
you
I had with
wasn't.
Joe Lewis. Well, okay.
Right. I've had this.
But
I've had
yeah,
this
when it comes
conversation
to
around
trans
Joe Lewis
issues,
as well.
the fact of the matter is, with trans issues, gender is a social construct. Whether we like it, whether you like it, whether you feel it should be that way or not, gender is a social construct.
And so is
People
race.
are. Yes, it is, but they are different types of social construct, and just because they're even the same doesn't mean that the applications are the same. I can't speak to
Why
what.
not?
Wait.
That's what I'm
You're-
asking. That's why I'm asking.
What do you mean? Why not? They're totally different concepts. Race and gender are two different social constructs. Different social
They're
constructs.
still
have different-
social constructs that. So if you want, so that's. Thank you. Then why is it wrong for people not to believe that your social construct is different than theirs? If you can't even accept and sit here and tell me, well, wait a second, if my social construct is this and that's a completely different social construct, so it doesn't have any validness to it. Yet it uses the exact same application that you use to identify yourself as transgender.
What? I don't know what you're saying.
What? What do you
I'm
mean?
Really,
you don't know what I'm saying? Do I have to say it even simpler? Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Again,
if you can, 'cause
your
that was
body you're born with, right? Your body you're born with.
Sure.
We can't change it. That's our science.
Well, that's not true, though.
Right?
But that's not
But-
true.
Hang
That's
on.
not true at all.
You were born with something. I was born with something. Everybody's born with an anatomy item. From a transgender perspective, you're born a certain way, but you
See,
don't
you're doing
identify
this
the way
thing.
that the society trying to use a fucking simple, almost like rudimentary fucking conversation with you, just so I can say, hey, if I use this same logic to identify as transgender, doesn't that apply to race? Doesn't it apply to any other social construct? I really am trying to figure this out. And that's a question that you guys all dodge and then claim and say it comes from a fucking random world.
I've literally addressed your question head on, and you keep trying to say like I've dodged it, but I literally haven't. And also your understanding of gender is not complete, which I would be certainly welcome on another time for us to like have a discussion about gender. If you actually want to learn about gender, I think I could do a pretty good job explaining it to you. But the way that you described it, it doesn't even make sense. We're not born with a gender. We are assigned a gender. And we're not even really like our current understanding of sex is much more complicated than just XXXY. We have a much more complicated complicated understanding of sex these days. But gender being a social construct has certain implications, which I don't know what the race, like the discussion around race is very different. And again, I'm not transracial, so I'm sure there's some people who'd be willing to discuss with you about that, but I don't see how it has anything to do with what we're talking about here. If you were to ask me right now, wait, I'm not done. If you were to ask me right now to refer to you with they them pronouns, I would respect you. If you ask me not to refer to you as a man anymore and to refer to you as a woman, I would respect you, because that is your right. Because gender being a social construct is something that we in a society that is better and happier, we allow one another to identify that way because it can help us. Gender is a social construct. It's designed to help us. And unfortunately, in our current paradigm, it doesn't help us. It actually hurts us most of the time. And that's the discussion that's at hand. And so I don't really know what you're trying to get at with this. Like, what it sounds like is and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but it sounds like you're trying to do like the Ben Shapiro, like, gotcha, like, oh, well, if I could say I'm a woman, well, then why can't I say I'm an egg or something like that? And it's just like, I don't know, it's like an attack helicopter kind of joke or something. I don't really get it. The question is, though, I've addressed it
but you're fighting. You are the ultra minority in today's society, correct?
In what way?
I thought that was gamers.
I'm saying in the trans, your people. You said my people. Yeah, you guys people? Are the ultra minority in today's society.
I wouldn't say ultra. Maybe ultra. Yeah, I would say an ultra, maybe not triple ultra, but yeah, an ultra at least.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a very small number in the global picture.
Sure.
So when you are fighting that large of a societal norm established over years and years.
What societal norm?
Man, woman, family, picket fence. You know, that societal norm that, you know, there's supposed to be a man and a woman, and that's all there is.
But that's what I'm saying. That is a made up. Wait. That's a made up societal norm. That's not actually a societal norm. Most people never live that life. So, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's not what people live. And in fact, these gender.
Can you just slow down? See, that's what I'm saying. I can't even make this simple. It's just a simple conversation where you don't start projecting larger things into it. And I'm just trying to keep it real simple. So that
you're trying to say that the normal thing.
Please,
oh my God.
Please.
Sure, go ahead and spin whatever fantasy you want.
When you're a minority in any aspect, there's always that boot that's going to be stepping down on you, right? So you're saying that you face a tremendous amount of trauma, personally, physically, socially, because society itself does not accept transgender people. You are one of the highest risk or at-risk categories of our society that has afflictions. Yeah? Is that a fair statement?
I mean, depends on what you mean by afflictions, but yeah. I mean, if you mean like that there's
people
like PTSD and abuse and
of course,
sure,
all the traumas and shit. Yes. Okay. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. When you are continually lashing out trying to change that bigger population, and you're telling them that they don't understand because they're not looking at this the same way that you look at it. Yet their societal norm is no different than, you know, when you apply this logic, you say, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what gender really is. I need to learn. Well, then what are you telling the other percentage of the population that they don't understand?
Oh, that's really, I can answer that question.
Right?
It's really
that same thing, right?
No, I'm telling that to you because you are the boot. The other people, I have conversations with people. Wait a second. I know you're going to laugh at that because it's like unfathomable to you that you could be a
I'm the only one that's that dense. I'm the only one that's that dense in the world.
You're not the only one, but you're one of them. Yeah, it's true. There's tons of people. Wait, hold on. Let me talk about this. There's tons of people who come into my chat.
Back to that personal love, right?
No. Because I know you're afraid of what I'm
about to say. Rude when you do it.
You know what's going to happen. You know
all I'm just saying is, DemonMama, I was literally just being, I was just,
no, I don't. Here's what's coming. Let me help you. If you let me talk, I can actually guide you there. People come into my chat and ask about gender all the time, and I explain this to them. In fact, my audience is full of people who I've personally talked to about gender, and they've gained from. But The difference is that they're not a part of the boot stepping down on me. You and the people you support are. There are tons of people out there who may not know everything about gender, but who approach it with respect, who approach it with sincerity, who approach it with compassion, which you do not do. You have not done that in this conversation. You have never done that in any conversation I've ever seen you in. In fact, the way that you tend to go about things is like a bumbling, angry, buffoonish sort of like that sort of thing. You go in, you say stupid shit, you say mean shit, you get really mad, you make it all about yourself. You talk about how you're mad, how everyone's trying to steal your free speech, how you're the biggest victim in the world. That's what you do. You're not helping with the boot that you said, the boot. And I agree. There is a boot that's stepping down on trans people. We don't want to be stepped on. That's it. And what you do is you put your foot in that boot and you step right down. You and all of your allies.
What size is that boot? Show me that boot, bitch. What size is it? Is it in your ass?
I mean,
you
is
were
this
horrible.
Is this not exactly what I was talking about?
Okay, so we have gone.
Because that's what you.
We have.
Hey, you literally go there every time, and that's where I literally, when I tell you I'm using mirrors, you're goddamn right. I can prove to you that your oppressions don't mean shit. You are nobody special, just like everybody else in the world. We're not special.
10 minutes. We have gone 10 minutes over the time. Well,
thank you for letting us do it.
It's okay. I wanted to make sure that the transracial thing was included since it was something you wanted to talk about. I want to thank both of you for coming on. And now what I'm going to do for everybody is wrap this up quick. I'm going to let you both shout out your things, and I'll talk to chat quick. I'm going to end stream. DemonMama, you want to shout yourself out?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is DemonMama. I am a political edutainer on YouTube, YouTube.com/C/DemonMama. And my website, which is the best place to find me, DemonMama.com/live. That's MAMA, mama. You know, Demon Mama, come hang out. I'm going to be doing a call-in stream after this with my chat. So if you have questions about gender that are in good faith, if you even want to debate me about gender, come on over. I would be happy to talk with you. And if you're a trans person listening to this right now, just know that in a non-parasocial way, I love you and I will do whatever I can to fight for your rights, including dealing with absolutely outrageous bigots like RedNeq. So, yeah. Thanks for having me on, Dylan.
No problem. RedNeq, you're going to shout your thing out, and then I'm going to do something quick for stream. Just wait and see. I promise it's good. RedNeq?
I don't want anybody to think that you have to watch what you say or watch how you feel. If I sat there and did exactly what I've tried to get her to understand, then we're going to still end up here. You don't change people by fucking telling them they're fucking bigots and stuff when they've never, when your mindset and your ideology is yours, my ideology is mine. How the fuck are we going to meet them together when yours goes directly against mine if we don't start talking? But we can't talk if everybody assumes that the other person's bad. You got to look further than just what you see on this goddamn camera and what you see in tweets. Because sometimes people are trolling. Sometimes people are actually trying to troll to get a response. And that is how this happened tonight. I took something that she said personally. She said she didn't mean it that way. She didn't even know the meaning. And then I turned around and used something that was very derogatory to her. I was directing it directly to her. But as you guys will always notice on any of my streams, I do not misgender on purpose. I'm not that kind of person. I do have respect, but I will damn sure fight when pushed on. And I have been on nothing but leftist panels. I'm starting to do my own thing. I'm starting to do different content. I know where my lane is. My lane isn't around a whole bunch of fucking people because all they do is yell and shit. I like to have one-on-ones, and I like to try to slowly think through things one little point at a time. If we can't even talk at one little point at a time and make it stupid simple, then how are rednecks supposed to understand and help? Because apparently rednecks are the ones out there causing all these problems. I'm just trying to help. Peace and love. My name's RedNeq, REDNEQ_TM on Twitch, RedNeq everywhere else.
Okay, now everybody, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be rating all over 500 people to a Trans Lifeline fundraiser stream. I hope you all go donate. I hope you all